Welcome to another OutfitMyGear.com review. Today we're doing a campsite down in Tennessee called Cades Cove, which is located in a great Smoky Mountains area. As with any campground, there are a lot of good things and unfortunately some bad things about this place, so let's get to it. The campgrounds are secluded inside the Smoky Mountains. It's not on the side of a highway or anything like that. It's about a 9-mile drive into the woods on a turning, curving, high-rising, cliff-dropping road. Okay, maybe not cliff-dropping, but with extreme slopes. So that's something I really like because I was passing by campgrounds on the way here from New York, and they were kind of on the side of the route, and I was afraid this might happen, but it didn't, which is great. The campsites are unevenly spaced out. Some are fair distance between each other and others not so much. There's really no barrier between campsites. There's no bush or anything like that, so I could be camping here and on the other side of the campground I see tents and I hear people talking, cooking, whatever. So there's no seclusion in a way. The cool thing about the camp spots is that they're all paved with pebbles, with rocks, so you don't really disturb whatever is growing on a campsite, because nothing's growing, because they just evened everything out, and you have kind of a platform where you put your tent, which is kind of neat because sometimes when you go to different campgrounds they don't have these things. You put your tent and then you have different roots from the trees and other things poking through from the bottom of your top of the tent, so that's kind of neat. The bad thing about it is that they only have one platform per site, so that means you can only put one tent per site. They do offer some group camping, but there's only about 6 campsites like that, 6 or 7, and if you want to have, let's say, 2 tents, you can do it. You have to reserve 2 spots to put 2 tents, which is, I don't know, comparing to other parks that I go to, I could put as much as 6 tents per site. Cades Cove offers about 160 campgrounds, which is massive. It's pretty big. It's a pretty popular campground. This is why I chose it, because of the scenes that are being offered here and the trails. It is pet-friendly campground. However, pets are not allowed on trails, which kind of it's a catch-22, because they're allowed on a campground, but they're not allowed on trails, and they're not allowed to be left unattended on a campground in a car or in a tent or just leashed out. So, well, if you bring a dog with you, you're kind of stuck. You are either can't really do anything, really. When it comes to making a fire in this place, they provide you with the rings, and there's a camp store that you could buy tinder from. Unfortunately, even this is all wooded area, there really isn't any sustainable wood that you could pick up from when it falls from a tree or whatever. There's little things that you could pick up like this, but that's about it. So you were kind of stuck using the store for buying wood, or as I did, I went to campsites and that are already left, because today is Monday, people are leaving, and I just picked it up and I was using it for myself. We came in late last night, pitched a tent, went to sleep, and as I just mentioned, it's Monday. About 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, we were awoken with dump trucks passing by collecting garbage, and also the caravan wasting trucks sucking out things from other things to put in other things. Use your imagination. It's great. I love going to a clean campground, but doing this at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday is a little extreme when checkout time is at noon. There's 2 large sections, and one of them is kind of half closed off because it's before the prime season, before May, and you don't need that much of a time to go around and collect trash. If you start at 10:30, everyone's up by that time, but not at 8. This kind of reminded me of the campground in North Rim, Grand Canyon. Which brings me to my next point. The tent sites and caravan sites are very close together. So just right before I was filming, I was trying to figure out what is the noise, and I realized it was a generator from one of the caravans right here, and I had to wait for them to shut it off before I start filming because it's kind of noisy in here in general. There's cars, everyone's driving a pickup truck, everybody's driving an SUV, and you can't really do more than like 10 miles an hour here, so as they're passing by with the roaring engines, it's even though you're away from highway, you feel like you're right next to a highway. And that's what sucks about this campground. Alcohol is allowed. They might frown upon you walking around with a bottle of vodka chugging it, but they do allow it on campsites. So not on trails anywhere else, just on campsites. And they are very strict about the DUIs on this premises. They had about 80 arrests past campground season, something from May to October, of people drinking and then driving through a campground intoxicated. So the state troopers that work in this area are very, very keen on catching people who drink and drive. So don't drink and drive. As for activities, there's a bike rental. I mean, the main thing here is trails. There is some fishing further down. You do, however, need a Tennessee or North Carolina fishing license, but there is available. I heard there's some streams, rivers, and lakes around here, but mostly it's hiking. Getting here, I give it a 5. It's easy drive. It's a little strenuous during the night because of the curvy road, and you kind of expect deer to jump out any minute. So when you do come out here, especially during the night, take it slow. Don't speed. Even though speed limit says 45, just do 35 and you'll be fine. Overall, it's a cool campground. It really is. I really want to like it, but there's something about it that it's too hectic. Smoky Mountain is such a huge forest, and to have a campground with such close spots together and such huge amount of nature is kind of like a sin. I have very mixed feelings about it. So just to review, privacy, I would probably give 2.5. 2. Privacy, I give 2. Same thing goes for solitude. I give 1 because you probably hear all the cars passing by right now as I'm recording this video, and luckily this isn't a busy weekend, so you don't see people behind me. But this is a campground. There's a campground right there, campground right here, my campground. This will be all packed with people and probably some music, and or maybe not. Maybe everybody's out hiking, but it'll be more packed during the weekend. Thanks for checking out this review. Hopefully it enlightens you about this campground. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Please visit outwithmygear.com blog for additional photos and other comments and questions people ask. And yeah, feel free to contact me.